Let's go across to our guest joining us. Dr. Kaushal K.Mishra is from the BJP. Vivek Srivastav is political analyst, leans towards the left parties. C.S. Jha is Shiv Sena leader, UBT. And Advaita Kola is author and political analyst. I thank you all for your time. Vivek, let me begin with you. I've just read out a few instances of religious events that used to be organized by not just governments, but heads of state, head of the Indian state, and even the president, who's the first citizen of the country. Right. What is the objection to the Prime Minister's presence at this event? And before you answer, let me tell you that there is no state money, no funding from the government as far as this event is concerned. I have confirmed that myself from the trust. All money is from the Ram Temple Trust, and they get their money via donations. So what is the objection really?
You see, it is not that we are saying that everybody should become irreligious, nobody should remain a Hindu, nobody should perform pujas, nobody should do meditation, Ram ka naam mat lo. That is not the narrative. What we are, and it was never the narrative for the last 70-75 years. Temples were being built regularly, ashrams were there, pujas were being conducted, festivals were being celebrated. So, I mean, nobody is anti-Hindu, pro-Muslim, and which is the narrative which, many media people are trying to spread out. That is not the narrative. The narrative is that the government, the Prime Minister, the President, they should not show that they are leaning towards one particular community, one particular religion, one particular faith, and show a bias towards it. Ayodhya has been a very controversial subject since 1947, and we all are aware of it. 1992, what happened? A mob goes and the Babri Masjid, which is now called the disputed structure, referred to it, it was broken, which is not the right way for any democracy to behave. Even if you have to remove the structure, you have gone through the court. There was a long little battle which was bitter. And finally, it is the court to which everybody agreed and respected, including the minorities and the Muslims. Now, when with the great fanfare, RSS says, we will go to 25 crore households with rice or something like that and do some akshat thing there so that there is an involvement of everybody into it. We will have the Prime Minister going over there to inaugurate, which means that the Dharam Guru status has been in a way replaced by the position of the Honorable Prime Minister of India.
Just because he's going to a temple ceremony?
Thing to do.
Just because he's going to a temple ceremony? We've had Prime Ministers in the past who've also visited. I've just read out a lot of those instances.
Absolutely. We have no problem with the Honorable Prime Minister of India being a Ram Bhakt, doing a puja every day, doing Ram Naam every day, doing meditation every day. There is no problem in his personal life. You are the Prime Minister of the country, the Prime Minister of everyone. Please do not forget it. And something which has been bitter, something which has a bitter history behind it, something which has been so controversial, when you go over there and trying to show yourself, standing with it. I mean, he recently went to one of the rallies and he was saying something similar about Mathura, something similar about Kashi. This is not the way we should behave.
I would take your argument of this being a particularly bitter episode. Vivek, let me come in. I have two, follow-ups. I would take your argument about this being a bitter episode if this was only restricted to Ram Temple. Yes. Recently, what happened during the Sengol ceremony? Now, it was not party-driven. It was not, any bitter episode. It was only honoring the Sengol, which was always meant to be in Parliament. In fact, the first Prime Minister of the country, Jawaharlal Nehru, was involved in the Sengol ceremony at that time, and yet the opposition, including the left at that time, derided this ceremony as some sort of religiosity that should not be condoned by a secular Indian state. Second is your point about the Prime Minister visiting and keeping his faith to his house. My central point is exactly this. In the past, Prime Ministers, Presidents have hosted religious events. If there was no objection to iftar parties all of this while, or to a Christmas gathering, which the Prime Minister held just yesterday at his residence. What is the problem with the Prime Minister visiting a temple if he's invited? That's the central point. It almost seems like you don't want him to go to the Ram Temple because you don't like what has happened in the Ram Temple episode.
No, it's not that. It's firstly, it is about the person's personal faith, which every Prime Minister, every President has a right to follow, and we cannot stop it, and we should not stop it. We are not saying it. What we are saying is that what is the picture that you are trying to give?
What is
you
that
are trying to say that the government and the Honorable Prime Minister represents one particular community and is going to sponsor it out, and he stands for it.
Okay, let me take that to the BJP's representative. Let me take that to the BJP's representative, that the message that goes out is that the Prime Minister stands for the Hindu faith and the Hindu faith alone. Mr. Mishra.
Shivani, if you go on yesterday's Prime Minister is hosting the Christian ceremony on 25th.
Yes.
What it means? Is it a non-secular? And above all, I have the copy of the old real constitution, in which we have seen there are Ram temple, there is Hanuman. So what he want to say? He want that whole constitution is Ram constitution, and it is very proud for us that whole constitution contains everything what is the history of the whole
Even
nation.
Parliament have shlokas
And
from Hindu texts.
We believe, Shivani, even constitution maker Gandhi ji or Jawaharlal ji, both are agreeing that our constitution is like Ram Niti, Ram Raj ke liye. What was the made? The constitution was made to achieve the Ram Raj. How they will achieve? By this constitution, in which we have seen multiple figures of the Shivaji's figure is there, Buddha's figure is there, Hanumanji figure is there, Ram Darbar is there, Mahabharat picture is there. It means we proudly say we
It's Indian history.
accept this constitution is a
Can a
secular,
divorce of
it's a Hindu
this
constitution, so it is a secular constitution. Shivani, it is a Hindu constitution, so it is a secular constitution. And we proudly believe that Ram Niti is Rajniti, and Rajniti, we do Rajniti for Rashtra-niti. Okay. And Ram Raj, we want to bring, our constitution want to bring the Ram Raj by the sense of this constitution. So Vivek Srivastav, who doesn't believe in God, because his ideology is left ideology, he doesn't believe in God, so how he can say about anything?
No, he is saying that the Prime Minister of the country should be seen. As I said at the start of the show, Indian state was meant to be equidistant from all faiths. But can a divorce of Indian civilization from an independent Indian state after 1947 happen to such an extent that, you know, we just don't refer to anything that is Indic or Indian history? I don't think that is possible, even in a secular state. Also, in a secular state, I don't think in the past, even before Narendra Modi, there has been such a divorce of religious activities and those who are in either the Prime Minister's post or the President's post. That's my fundamental question.